Do you still remember the touching stories from Emmerdale? Few people know that, in real life, the tragedies of its cast were even more painful than what appeared on screen. Many stars passed away under haunting and heartbreaking circumstances. Let's look back at those who have left us forever and uncover the final chapters of their lives that left the whole of England in silence. Steve Hallowell as Zach Dingle. Steve Hallowell was born on March 19, 1946, in Bury, Lancashire, England. He was 48 years old when he played Zach Dingle, a rough but honest man who loved his family and was always ready to protect his loved ones in Emmerdale. With his genuine and heartfelt performance, Zach became the very symbol of the Dingle family, bringing audiences laughter, tears, and unforgettable memories. Behind that bright smile on screen was a life far from peaceful. Steve went through 2 marriages, and love itself became his deepest wound. His first marriage ended when he was young, leaving a lasting scar as his biological daughter was given up for adoption. In his second marriage to Valerie, he seemed to have found peace, but fame and alcohol tore it apart. During the 1980s, Steve fell into addiction, drinking heavily every night and even being arrested for losing control in public. Valerie once had to pack up and take their child away in the middle of the night, afraid of him when he was drunk. When sober, Steve broke down in tears, begging for another chance. It was Valerie who pulled him out of that hell, taking him to rehab and standing by him during his darkest moments. But illness soon struck again. A heart condition forced him to undergo surgery and live with a pacemaker. Even breathing became a challenge at times. He once said, "I can hear the sound of the machine in my chest like a reminder that I still have a chance." Sadly, on December 15, 2023, Steve Hallowell passed away at the age of 77 from heart failure, peacefully surrounded by family. His private funeral was held in his hometown of Lancashire, with many co-stars coming to pay their respects. His artistic legacy, along with an estimated £3 million fortune from Emmerdale, remains a testament to a life devoted to his craft. Richard Thorp as Alan Turner. Richard Thorp was born on January 2, 1932 in Purley, Surrey, England. He played Alan Turner, the charming, witty pub landlord with a kind heart in Emmerdale when he was 50 years old. Across generations of the series, Alan remained the beloved gentleman of Emmerdale, a witness and link to every story in the small village. Yet, in real life, he was a man broken by tragedy. His marriage to Lynn was once full of laughter, until the day their son died in a car accident. From then on, their home became a place of silence and darkness. Lynn collapsed under grief, while Richard buried himself in work, using the film set to escape his real pain. He worked himself to exhaustion just to avoid facing the empty room where his son once slept. Love between husband and wife slowly turned into distance. Though they lived under the same roof, they became strangers. He once said, "I'm afraid to go home because all that's left there are memories." At 70, he was diagnosed with prostate cancer. Instead of resting, Richard chose to keep acting, hiding his illness even from the crew. Chemotherapy caused him to lose weight and all his hair, yet whenever the cameras rolled, he smiled and stepped into Alan Turner's shoes as if nothing had happened. Once he even collapsed right after filming a scene but insisted on returning to set just days later. Richard Thorp passed away on May 22, 2013, in Shrewsbury, at the age of 81. The cause was attributed to old age and long-term health complications. Leaving behind an estimated £2.5 million fortune, Richard departed peacefully, remembered as a devoted artist who gave everything to his role until his final breath. Clive Hornby as Jack Sugden. Clive Hornby was born on October 20, 1944, in Liverpool, England. At the age of 36, playing Jack Sugden, a tough, principled farmer deeply devoted to his land and family in Emmerdale. Jack became the embodiment of hard work, integrity, and resilience. leaving audiences with an unforgettable image of a man who represented the very soul of Emmerdale for nearly 3 decades. But Clive's real life was far from the calm, fatherly figure he portrayed on screen. After a bitter first divorce, he married actress Helen Weir, his on-screen partner in Emmerdale. They had 1 son together, yet their marriage was overshadowed by growing tension and the demands of their careers. As Clive buried himself in work, Helen grew lonely, and he found himself torn between family and the set. In 2007, Clive received devastating news: terminal lung cancer. He continued filming even through chemotherapy, weight loss, and sleepless nights. Each scene became a battle, as even a deep breath caused sharp pain. Helen became his primary caregiver, offering strength and comfort as she watched him slowly fade. In his final months, Clive still managed to smile whenever the production team sent their love and well wishes. He passed away on July 3, 2008. His funeral took place at Rawdon Crematorium in Leeds. Clive Hornby's net worth was estimated at around £1.8 million, earned mainly from his long run on Emmerdale and other acting work. Shortly afterward, the character Jack Sugden was also written out of the series, allowing life and fiction to merge in a poignant farewell to one of British television's most beloved icons, Sheila Mercier as Annie Sugden. Sheila Mercier was born on January 1, 1919, in Hull, England. She was 53 years old when she portrayed Annie Sugden, the warm, steadfast matriarch and emotional heart of the Sugden family. With her portrayal of a devoted Yorkshire mother, full of kindness, sacrifice, and strength, Annie became one of the show's most cherished figures for decades. Yet behind Annie's gentle smile was a life filled with sorrow few ever knew. During World War II, Sheila was raped by an officer, became pregnant, and was forced to give her daughter up for adoption, a trauma that haunted her for the rest of her life. Years later, when her daughter found her, the two embraced in tears, but the scars of the past never fully healed. Even at the height of her career, Sheila carried a quiet sadness that sometimes showed through her performances. Her marriage to actor Peter Mercier seemed to bring comfort, yet it was tested by time and distance. Peter often worked away from home, leaving Sheila to raise their child alone and battle the loneliness of a woman devoted both to her art and her family. When Peter died in 1993 from heart disease, Sheila fell into deep depression. She once confessed, "When he left, every sound in the house disappeared." From then on, her health declined rapidly. By her 90s, she suffered from severe arthritis, memory loss, and was unable to walk for many years. On December 4, 2019, Sheila Mercier passed away peacefully in her family's arms at the age of 100 from natural causes. Her net worth was estimated at around £2 million, largely from her long acting career and her late husband's inheritance. Ronald McIll as Amos Brearley. Ronald McIll was born on April 21, 1920, in Hull, England. At the age of 52, playing Amos Brearley, the stern yet humorous landlord of the Woolpack pub in Emmerdale. With his trademark mustache and distinctive manner of speech, Amos became one of the most iconic characters of Emmerdale's early years, a nostalgic reminder of the show's golden era. Behind Amos Brearley's cheerful appearance and legendary mustache was a life marked by loneliness and loss. Ronald married Mary, a kind and gentle woman, but their marriage was far from perfect. His deep passion for theater and television kept him away from home for long stretches, leaving Mary in solitude. She once told friends, "Ronald only truly exists when he's on stage." Over time, their marriage grew cold, and Ronald eventually found love again with fellow actor David Soar, his lifelong partner for 32 years. When David passed away in 1997, Ronald fell into deep depression and emotional turmoil. In his final years, Ronald battled prostate cancer and Bell's palsy, which caused partial facial paralysis and made it difficult for him to speak or smile. His health declined rapidly, yet he never lost his charm or humor. He would often reassure friends by saying, "I've had a good life. I only wish I had the strength to act a little longer." Ronald McIll passed away on September 6, 2007, at the age of 87. His net worth was estimated at around £1.2 million, earned over a career spanning more than half a century. He died peacefully, leaving behind the image of a gifted artist who turned his smile and that legendary mustache into an immortal symbol in Emmerdale's history. Stan Richards as Seth Armstrong. Stan Richards was born on December 8, 1930 in Barnsley, England. When he was 48 years old, he played Seth Armstrong, a hard-working, witty, and honest man closely associated with the Woolpack pub and the simple, heartfelt stories of everyday life. Seth became a symbol of Yorkshire spirit, forever remembered for his warmth, humility, and humor. Before joining Emmerdale, Stan had been a popular comedian across northern England for more than 30 years, but his personal life was far from easy. He married Susan in 1952, and their marriage endured many challenges. In 1994, Susan passed away suddenly from a stroke, leaving Stan in profound loneliness. From then on, he spoke little, quietly traveling between the set and his empty home each day. Yet solitude wasn't the worst of his struggles. In his later years, Stan was diagnosed with emphysema, caused by decades of smoking. The illness made breathing difficult. He relied on an oxygen tank and had to take frequent breaks from filming. In his final days, he barely had the strength to speak for long. Stan Richards passed away at his home in Barnsley on February 11, 2005, at the age of 74. His funeral was small but heartfelt, attended by the entire Emmerdale crew. His net worth was estimated at around £1 million, the fruit of a lifetime devoted to art, laughter, and the simple joy he brought to audiences everywhere. Paula Tilbrook as Betty Eagleton. Paula Tilbrook was born on January 16, 1930, in Salford, England. She joined Emmerdale at the age of 64, portraying Betty Eagleton, a cheerful, talkative, but kind-hearted woman who always knew how to liven up the village. Betty was the soul of everyday life in Emmerdale, bringing warmth, humor, and nostalgia to every scene she appeared in. Her real life was peaceful, but not without quiet sorrow. Paula married Leslie Hall in 1952, a gentle and devoted man, yet their marriage of more than 3 decades was deeply tested when Leslie was diagnosed with Alzheimer's disease. For years, Paula cared for her husband while continuing to act and raise their 2 children. When Leslie passed away in 1985, Paula was devastated. She withdrew from the world for years and only rediscovered joy after joining Emmerdale. But tragedy did not stop there. In her later years, Paula battled severe arthritis that caused constant pain and made walking difficult. In a rare interview, she said, "Every step is painful, but acting makes me feel alive." Despite her suffering, the love from audiences for Betty Eagleton became her greatest comfort in her final years. Paula Tilbrook passed away on December 1, 2019, at the age of 89. Her family waited several months before announcing her death to maintain privacy. She left behind an estimated net worth of £800,000, along with the image of a witty, resilient, and compassionate woman, forever etched in the hearts of Emmerdale fans. Leah Braracknel as Zoe Tate. Leah Braracknel was born on July 12, 1964, in Westminster, England. She was just 25 years old when she portrayed Zoe Tate, a smart, strong, and fiercely independent veterinarian, one of the show's most complex and groundbreaking characters in Emmerdale. Zoe was not only a symbol of female independence, but also the first openly gay character in Emmerdale, remembered for the courage and emotional depth Leah brought to the role. Behind her radiant on-screen presence was a life marked by hardship and remarkable strength. Leah was deeply affected by her mother's death, which sent her into a long period of depression. Though she married Lyle Watson and had 2 children, their marriage eventually collapsed under the strain of work and emotional distance. Later, she found peace with Jez Hughes, a man who stood by her side when life dealt its cruelest blow, a diagnosis of terminal lung cancer in 2016. Instead of surrendering to despair, Leah faced her illness with courage and faith. She made her condition public, appearing on television to share her journey and raising £50,000 to fund treatment in Germany. Despite her weakening health, she continued teaching yoga and meditation, inspiring thousands with her grace and resilience. In her final months, Jez remained by her side, holding her hand through every painful round of treatment. Leah Braracknel passed away on September 15, 2019, at the age of 55. Her death was kept private until October, allowing her family to protect her final peace. Her net worth was estimated at around £500,000, a modest sum that symbolized a life defined not by wealth, but by courage, compassion, and the light she shared with the world. Shirley Steelox as Edna Birch. Shirley Steelox was born on April 11, 1941, in Dukenfield, England. She played Edna Birch, a strict conservative woman with a deeply kind heart, hidden beneath her stern exterior when she was 60 years old. With her trademark hat and sharp voice, Edna brought audiences moments that were both humorous and deeply moving throughout Emmerdale's history. Behind Edna Birch's proud and serious demeanor was a woman who had endured many bitter losses in real life. Shirley was married twice. Her first marriage ended quickly, leaving her to raise her daughter Helena alone. Later, she found true love with actor Don Henderson. The two married in 1979 and built a quiet, happy home in Stratford-upon-Avon, raising 3 children together. But that happiness was cut short in 1997 when Don died of throat cancer. His death shattered Shirley, leaving her heartbroken. She poured all her energy into work to cope with her grief, but fate had one final twist. In 2015, Shirley was diagnosed with terminal cancer, just 4 weeks before she passed away. Despite the severity of her illness, she kept it secret from the Emmerdale team and continued filming until her body could no longer endure it. Shirley Steelox passed away peacefully in Nottinghamshire, only weeks after receiving her diagnosis. She was 74 years old and left behind an estimated net worth of around £700,000. Though she is gone, her image as a strong, resilient woman, both on screen and off, continues to live on in the hearts of Emmerdale fans. Meg Johnson as Pearl Ladderbanks. Meg Johnson was born on September 30, 1936, in Manchester, England. At the age of 67, she played Pearl Ladderbanks, a lively, cheerful, and warm-hearted woman who brought joy and light to the village. With her radiant smile and mischievous personality, Pearl became a symbol of optimism and friendship during some of Emmerdale's most turbulent years. Behind Pearl's bubbly spirit, Meg carried deep loneliness. She was married twice. Her first marriage ended quietly, leaving her to raise 2 young children alone. Later, she found lasting happiness with her second husband, actor Charles Foster. The couple shared more than 40 years together, facing the ups and downs of life and show business side by side. In her later years, dementia began to erode Meg's memory. Once quick and sharp, she gradually forgot the names of her colleagues, and eventually, even her lines. Still, she maintained her trademark warmth, often joking, "If I can't remember my script, I'll remember everyone's smiles." Her family cared for her at a nursing home in Rochdale. Her beloved husband, Charles Foster, passed away just months earlier, making Meg's departure even more heartbreaking. Meg Johnson passed away on July 1, 2023, at the age of 86. Emmerdale released a heartfelt tribute describing her as a kind woman who always carried light in her eyes. She left behind an estimated net worth of around £600,000, and the cherished memory of Pearl Ladderbanks witty, warm, and full of spirit, just like Meg herself. Freddy Jones as Sandy Thomas. Freddy Jones was born on September 12, 1927, in Stoke-on-Trent, England. He was 78 when he portrayed Sandy Thomas, a gentle, wise, and deeply compassionate father figure who served as a source of strength for his son Ashley and everyone around him. With his calm demeanor, resonant voice, and profound warmth, Sandy became the heart and soul of Emmerdale, remembered by fans as a kind old man filled with empathy and boundless love for his family. Freddy Jones lived a simple yet emotionally rich life. He married actress Jennifer Heselwood in 1965, and their union lasted for over half a century, one of the rare, enduring marriages in show business. They had 3 sons, including Toby Jones, who would go on to become an internationally acclaimed actor. Despite his happy family life, Freddy experienced deep loneliness in later years as many of his old friends and colleagues passed away. In his final years, Freddy's health began to decline. He developed mild memory loss and mobility issues, but refused to give up acting on Emmerdale. Often he would have to rest between takes due to exhaustion, yet each time the director called action, he would rise, embodying Sandy Thomas, the loving and wise father figure one last time. When he retired from the show in 2018, he wept and told his co-stars, "This is the last time I'll live in a world where everyone still smiles." Freddy Jones passed away on July 9, 2019, at the age of 91. Emmerdale honored him with 2 special tribute episodes. His net worth was estimated at around £1.5 million, earned through a film and television career spanning more than 60 years. Johnny Lees as Ned Glover. Johnny Lees was born on December 31, 1941, in York, England. He joined Emmerdale at the age of 42, playing Ned Glover, a hard-working, strong, yet tender-hearted farmer who represented the honest working class of Yorkshire. With his straightforward humor, resilience, and loyalty to family, Ned became a beloved and relatable figure, the very image of the British father archetype. Johnny Lees's life was filled with perseverance, but also marked by loss. He married twice. His first marriage to Carol Hallowell brought him 2 children but ended in divorce after 14 years. Later, he found peace with his second wife, Julie Cruddas, a woman outside the entertainment world who gave him the stability he had long sought. However, the emotional toll of losing many close friends in the acting industry led him into a period of depression. When the COVID-19 pandemic struck, Johnny was already battling chronic heart and lung conditions. Despite taking precautions and isolating, he contracted the virus and his condition quickly worsened. In his final days, he spoke with his daughter by phone, saying, "I'm not afraid of dying. I'm only afraid of not getting to say goodbye." Just a few days later, he passed away quietly, leaving his family and fans in shock. Johnny Lees died on October 25, 2020, at the age of 78. His net worth was estimated at around £400,000, accumulated from a television career spanning more than 4 decades. Though he is gone, the image of the sincere, down-to-earth Yorkshire man he portrayed in Emmerdale continues to live on in the hearts of viewers. Andy Devine as Shadrach Dingle. Andy Devine was born on February 28, 1942, in Manchester, England. At the age of 58, he played Shadrach Dingle, a drunken, lazy, yet warm-hearted man who often made viewers feel both frustrated and sympathetic in Emmerdale. Shadrach became one of the Dingle family's most memorable figures, bringing laughter and tenderness to the show's many chaotic moments for over a decade. In real life, Andy was a humble, family-oriented man who rarely discussed his private life. He married young and had 2 children, a small, close-knit family that was his greatest pride. However, in his later years, Andy struggled with heart problems and various age-related health issues. Many nights he lay awake struggling to breathe, quietly enduring hospital visits without wanting to worry anyone. A fall at home in early 2022 worsened his fragile condition. While recovering in hospital, Andy developed a lung infection, an illness that took his life only weeks later. He passed away at the age of 79, leaving behind an estimated net worth of around £500,000, earned through more than 50 years of dedication to television. His family kept the news private until May, giving themselves time to grieve in peace. Peter Martin as Len Reynolds. Peter Martin was born on September 20, 1941, in Accrington, England. He played Len Reynolds, a kind, gentle, and compassionate man who embodied the warmth and forgiveness that defined the village when he was 60 years old. With his friendly smile and sincere eyes, Len was the trusted father figure and friend of Emmerdale's early 2000s era. Peter lived a quiet but not uneventful life. He married young and maintained a stable, loving family for decades. Preferring to stay away from the noise of show business, he spent most of his free time with his wife, children, and close friends. Yet as he grew older, declining health, particularly mobility issues, began to affect him. In his later years, he appeared less frequently in public, living a peaceful life in his Lincolnshire home. Peter Martin passed away on April 19, 2023, at the age of 81. His net worth was estimated at around £300,000. He left this world quietly, remembered as a kind-hearted, humble actor who brought warmth, sincerity, and humanity to British television for more than half a century. Kitty McGver as Lizzie Lakely. Kitty McGver was born on October 15, 1966, in Bramley, England. At the age of 43, she played Lizzie Lakely, a strong, funny, and optimistic blind woman who always faced life's challenges with humor and resilience in Emmerdale. Lizzie left a lasting impression for her sincerity, kindness, and the quiet strength that made audiences both love and admire her. Kitty's real life was a story of silent tragedy mixed with extraordinary courage. At 19, she was diagnosed with diabetes. During pregnancy in 2001, she developed severe preeclampsia and gave birth to her son Felix 2 months early. But joy quickly turned to heartbreak. The baby was born with congenital heart and lung defects and passed away at just 15 months old. The loss devastated Kitty, both physically and emotionally. The immense stress caused her kidneys to fail, her heart to weaken, and diabetes eventually took her sight completely at the age of 32. In less than a year, she lost both her son and her vision. Yet Kitty refused to give up. After surviving a 12-hour kidney transplant surgery, she recovered and decided to return to her passion for acting. She became the first blind actress in British television history when Emmerdale invited her to play Lizzie Lakely, a character inspired by her own life story. Kitty infused Lizzie with authenticity, compassion, and depth, moving countless viewers to tears with her performance. But her health continued to decline. She was hospitalized multiple times for kidney failure and heart complications while awaiting a second transplant. Still, she often told friends that if she died, she wanted her organs donated to save others. On August 16, 2015, Kitty passed away at a hospital in Bradford at the age of 48. Her family confirmed that her wish to donate her organs had been fulfilled. Her net worth was estimated at around £200,000, mostly from her years as an actress and comedian. Which Emmerdale storylines moved you the most when remembering these beloved stars? Share your thoughts in the comments below. And don't forget to like and subscribe to discover more untold stories behind the scenes of Emmerdale.